Hello everyone, I just want to show a quick solution that was requested for number 7 and 8 on the test that you just took, test number 3. And number 7, it's talking about a farmer, it's talking about grasshoppers. He knows the distribution of grasshoppers may not be normally distributed in his field, but that's not going to be a problem for us. It says he's driving down the rows, he counts the grasshoppers. After several rows, he figures the mean number of flights to be 57 with standard deviation of 12. And when he says mean, he's talking about the actual mean of his whole field is 57. He just figures that for his whole field, the mean is 57 and the standard deviation is 12. Now we're supposed to find out what's the probability that the farmer will count 52 or fewer flights or 60 or more flights on average in the next 40 rows. So he's going to drive down and he's going to find an average of the next 40 rows. But what that's talking about is a sampling distribution of the sample mean, which is going to be normally distributed because the sample is 40. It's pretty large. We have sample size 40. And so what we can tell about the sampling distribution of the sample mean, it doesn't matter about the population if it's normal or not. The mean, which is called mu x bar, it will be the same as the mean from the population, which is 57. And then the standard deviation, sigma x bar, that's the one we have the formula where we go divided by square root of sample size. So for this one, it would be 12 over square root of 40. And so what we want to do is find out the area underneath this one, but this is the sampling distribution of the sample mean. We will find the area underneath the curve. It says fewer than 52, so 52 is over here. We want to find the area of this tail going this way, and then 60 is going to be a bit closer, is maybe here. Is 60, and so we're looking for also this tail, and we need to find the tail by using normal CDF, of course. That's how we find, so we got distribution normal CDF, and we will go there. The lower limit, this is the one I'm going to find first, the area on the left side. So the lower limit is where you can use the negative pseudo infinity like this one going up until 52. Mean 57. Distribution, standard deviation is 12 over square root of 40. And then we need to add to that one plus the area that's on the right side. So I will go normal CDF. And then it will go from 60 up until the kind of pseudo infinity on this side. Same mean and standard deviation. We'll go equals, and we get 0.06 with some stuff. 0.06, it's answer choice A, of course. And then what about number 8? It says that there's an article from a magazine about teenagers. It says 46% would like more discussion about finances, 37% want to talk about school, 30% want to talk about religion. And it says these percentages that it's talking about are from a national sampling of 539 teenagers. We're trying to estimate the proportion of all teenagers who want more family discussions about school in particular. So the school one that we start out with was 37. So in this case, we will have a point estimate, which goes p hat is 37%. I'll just write it as a decimal, 0.37. And then what do we have? 95% confidence interval. And so we're just going to come up with a confidence interval for this one. Since it's a proportion, remember we should use the one prop z test. So that one is under stat and then tests. One prop z. Wait, we don't want a test actually. We want one prop z interval, of course. One prop z interval, that's the one that we use. So X here is, it's 37% though of the 539 teenagers. That would tell us actually the number of teenagers that wanted to talk about school. It's 37% of 539. So that would be like 0.37 times 539. And then the number that they had in the sample is the 539. So those are the numbers that we want to use for this one. And actually, I'm just going to put that in rather than finding out what that is first. I'm just going to go in here with 0.37 and then times 539. And it gives that one to us. So it's about apparently 199. This should be okay. And then 539. And now what's going to happen, the confidence interval needs to be 95%. Oops. It did not like having the decimal there, by the way. So I'm going back just to fix that one. It doesn't know how 0.43 of a teenager. So I'm just going to use 199. Now let's see what happens. Okay. So we're looking for the point estimate. We already know is supposed to be 0.37. So it says to use the form that has the point estimate and then plus or minus the margin of error. So we need the one that has the point estimate of 0.37 to begin with. So we don't want either one of these. Now we can tell what the margin of error is by taking the difference between the point estimate and one of these values. And you can tell it's going to be answer choice D. If we add and subtract 0.041, we will get the interval that we have here. Where the point estimate's in the middle, you add the margin of error to get the bound on the right side, and you subtract the margin of error to get the bound on the left side. You can see that it's about 0.04 is the margin of error, so it would be D. Anyway, that does it for these problems.